Internet Marketing for Businesses in 2011, Module 1, The Essential Basics. Hi, my name is Tony Hayes. I'm from a company in London called Local Buzz Marketing. We're essentially an SEO training company that help businesses to generate leads and sales online. Now, before we get started into the more detailed things in this book, we have to do a little bit of preparation, but this preparation doesn't have to be so detailed, not at first, because what you will find as we go along, you're going to be developing ideas, and when you start to look at what your competitors are doing, you might take some of their ideas and expand on them as well. So what I want to do is just to get a brief overview first, and I want to make this a short book, but actionable. I want to make this less fluff, more good information, more actionable tasks that we can just keep moving on and keep moving forward, and you can come back and reference this book at any point that you choose later according to whatever subject that you need. Okay, now also this book will come with a video training course as well. So for each actionable step that we're doing, if it's an SEO strategy, if it's a marketing strategy, there will be some over-the-shoulder training where you can watch me doing specific tasks. So make sure that you understand that you can go to the website and register there, sign in, and you'll have access to those videos as well, which should help you quite a lot. Now, before we get started, I've got some very, very basic questions that you need to be able to start to think about right now. Okay, now again, it doesn't have to be very, very detailed. I just want to give you a brief introduction to the way that we should be thinking, and even if you get this part wrong right now, don't worry, you will get it right later, but I just want to help you to start thinking in the right direction from the very get-go, from the very beginning. Okay. Okay, and the first thing that we need to think about is, what is your goal? If you want to have a website online, what is the goal? What is the purpose? It's not a trick question. Let me explain how I would go about it if it was from me myself, and maybe this will give you a better idea. Perhaps your goal is to generate leads, and your goal generating leads might be through collecting email addresses, or it might be through collecting telephone numbers and getting people to call you. Your goal might be to have an e-commerce website where you're selling physical goods online. That can be delivered. Your goal could be an e-commerce site that is selling products or services online that is more of a digital nature. So I just wanted to understand the basics of what is your goal right now. It's not a trick question. It's not something you have to think long and hard about. Just think to yourself. I mean, if you're a plumber, for example, then you just want to be generating leads, probably from phone calls. You might not want people coming into sending you an email address. That's probably not much good for you to follow up on that kind of thing, but you know, you could be offering professional services, and email makes more sense than getting phone calls. That way you can sell to people multiple times. Alright, so just first of all, think, what is your goal? Take a note of it, and we can think about that more as we go along and as we look at your competitors as well. Okay, number 2, who are your target customers? Okay, it sounds like a very simple question. There isn't any trick to it. It is actually a very simple question. Who are your target customers? Are they people locally? Are they people nationally? Are you looking worldwide? Remember, the further afield you go, the harder it's going to be because it's more competitive, and it might be better to try and start locally first and do what we call geo-targeting. Okay, so I want you to start thinking, who are your customers? Are they people who are going to spend money with you immediately? Are they people who need multiple sales messages before you can start to get a return on investment? Start to think of all those things right now, but it'll all become clearer as we go through the book. Okay. Number 3, who are your competitors, both locally and nationally? Now, these are the people who will be ranking where you want to be ranking in the search engines. These are the people who are attracting the customers online that you would like to be attracting online. Find out who they are, find out what they're offering to people, and get some ideas. Just a general overview. Again, it's not a trick question. There's more to come later with this kind of thing, but as we just start to build a picture, and at the end of this module, you should be able to start thinking, okay, I know what my goal is, I know who my target customers are. I know that I want to target either locally or nationally, and I know how my competitors are targeting these people. I've already got ideas of what they're doing. I can take their ideas and I can expand on them and make them better. That's the whole point of doing this module 1, the essential basics. Okay. So find out how your customers are finding your top competitors. Maybe they're finding it out through things like competitions, or is it only search engine rankings, or are they doing very strong social media on Facebook or Twitter? Try and find out how your customers are finding your top competitors online. What are your competitors online are doing to attract those customers? Is it search engine rankings? Is it social media? Find out, and just as much as you can understand right now, try to understand it, and also sign up for everything that they're doing. Get a copy of the newsletters and stuff like that, because we're going to need that later. Okay. So next point is to take all of those above, get a broad overview, and think to yourself, what is your unique selling point? Now, I'm not trying to give you business marketing 101 here. You probably already know that you need to have a USP, or should have a USP to stand out from your competitors, but sometimes that's just not possible. Maybe you are just doing plumbing services. You know, what do we do with plumbing services to make it different? I don't know. But perhaps you can do a different USP as far as online marketing. And a different USP can be the way that you contact people. It can be the offers that you're making. It can be giving good quality information so that you can get their email in exchange for that information. Whatever it might be, just start to think, what could your unique selling point be as far as online for people who come online? Maybe it's a discount. Maybe it's a point system. Yeah, who knows? Whatever you can think of, just start to think about that right now. Okay. And then I want you to think, what can you give that your competitors are not giving online? So once you've had a look at your competitors, you can see if they're offering something that you could be offering, but perhaps that you could take this a little bit further or a little bit better. But put yourself in the customer's place and not the competitor's place. Okay, you have to remove yourself from being the competitor, see yourself as a customer, and think to yourself, well, you know, that's a great offer they've got there, or that's a great idea that they've got there. Me as a customer, I would prefer to have this, this, or this. And then you can go into your competitor's role and think, okay, a customer would probably like certain things extra, or that thing taken away, or maybe a different approach, and then you can start to put it together. So you have got a USP, you have got something that your competitors are not offering online, and that is going to help us as we start to move up the search engines. Okay. Now the next point we need to think about, and again, we're just thinking about things, we're just getting a broad overview, we're not writing a business plan or anything like that. It's not that detailed, we're just thinking about things so that we can easily and quickly take actionable steps later on. Okay, this is just a broad overview. Now the next thing I want you to think about is what format is easiest and best for you to give this information. Whatever information you decide that you're going to give online, you need to think of what format is easiest and best. For me, it's video. I can make these little PowerPoints and I can talk using a screen capture software called Camtasia, and I can knock out content very, very quickly. From that content, I can send the video to an outsourced worker who will transcribe it. Once I have the transcription, I have a written format which I can turn into an ebook, I can turn into a physical book, I have a video, and also I can extract the MP3 and I can make a podcast, all from one piece of information. Now you need to think what format is easiest and best for you to give this information. My preference is video, your preference might be for writing, maybe you enjoy writing. I don't particularly enjoy writing, I don't mind to talk, and I just want to get the information out, so I find this is much faster, much more convenient for me. Whatever you might think is best, you need to start thinking about, but we need to start thinking, how do I get the information out? Do I need to be writing it? Am I comfortable doing videos? If I'm not comfortable doing videos, am I willing to keep practicing doing the videos like this? 10 to 11, 12 times until I start to feel comfortable, because that's what does happen in my experience. And from there, that will help us to be able to create a plan. And we need to have a plan of what we will give, what information we will give for free, what information that we might be trying to charge for, and what information we can get out through social media, through various other ways, and having this basic overview right now will help you immensely later. Now, when I say a creative plan of what you will give for free, what I really mean is this. The currency online today, the real currency online today and in marketing today is people's time, okay? There are lots of good marketing messages and there's a lot of competition for limited resources, which is people's time, okay? And involved in that later comes, people making purchasing decisions which could essentially bring more revenue into your business. But if all we're doing all day long is sending out sales messages, this will not work very well. This really will not work very well. We need to be giving good quality information in exchange for people's time, also their email address. That's the way that I usually do it. That's what works for me as far as doing information products. It allows me to follow up, give better information later, give more good information, all for free, and all the time I'm building trust, I'm building recognition, I'm building authority in the marketplace, and hopefully, people will decide that they would like to buy from me when it comes time to make a purchasing decision that they decided they want to make through information I've been giving them, so that they understand that the value of maybe something like online marketing for you could be something different, okay? So we need to create a plan of what we will give for free, and that will include the format, that will include the unique selling point, that will include having looked at your competitors, and you also need to think about the options for the lead generation. How are you going to do this? Is it because are you going to do it for getting them to call you, for leaving an email address, from joining a group on Facebook or whatever? That's what you need to start thinking about. The easiest way, in my experience, is to build an opt-in form on the website, and we will explain how to do that later, but very, very easy to do this. It's nothing really difficult. And okay, module 2, keyword research.